Hey guys, it's your boy Jimmy, and today I want to talk about something that's been blowing up over the internet everywhere, and it's probably going to continue to blow up more and more and escalate. And that's about GameStop and the Wall Street bets thread on Reddit. And it's kind of a complicated thing to figure out why it's blowing up and what's going on. I'll try to give you a quick version of explaining to me like I'm a 5-year-old about why this is a big deal, what exactly happened for it to become a big deal, because right now it's like yesterday it kind of became mainstream because most mainstream media started covering the story, but today, just in the last 6 hours, it's like every hour something new is happening and politicians are involved, celebrities, musicians, like it's really escalating and a lot of drama has happened. And I know a lot of you who are watching this video are like, what the fuck's going on? How did this happen? And what is even stock shorting and all that stuff? So I'm gonna try to keep it as simple as possible. So what does everybody have? We all have phones. So I'm gonna use a phone as a basic example to explain to you how this stocking happened. So basically GameStop is a company that's selling mostly gaming merchandise, but it used to be a brick and mortar chain that is now basically obsolete. It's like nobody cares about it. It's a dying business. We're all buying stuff digitally. I myself am a big gamer. We all buy stuff online. So what that meant was that this company is dying, so its shares were dropping and they were being sold really cheap. So a bunch of people from Reddit, it's gonna be me, decided to pump up that stock, raise the price, and screw Wall Street, which is gonna be Tony Chopper here. This is the Wall Street assholes that he's gonna represent, and Pikachu is gonna be the brokers who just sell and borrow stocks. So to understand why normal people from Reddit who just communicated and shared advice and stuff have somehow screwed Wall Street, you gotta understand what exactly stock shorting means. It's a very weird thing that they do. But basically, let's say Tony here believes that GameStop is a dying company, which it is, and he's super confident that the stock price will continue to go down. The equivalent of a stock would be one phone. So with this belief in this information, Tony is gonna approach Pikachu and is gonna be like, hey bro, can you sell me, can you borrow me 10 iPhones? And he's gonna get like 10 iPhone 11. So Pikachu is gonna give him these iPhones, and what's gonna happen is, now let's say they cost $10 each, and just keep the numbers very simple. So he gets 10 phones, which he immediately on that day goes to eBay and he sells them for $100. That's instant money in his pocket. Now obviously he has to pay back Pikachu, but here's the thing, he didn't borrow $100 from him, he borrowed 10 phones. So the only thing Pikachu cares about is getting the 10 iPhones back plus some interest, let's say, I don't know, $50. So what's Tony doing now is he has $100 in his pocket. He just sold the phones, but he knows that next week iPhone 12 is coming out, which means iPhone 11 is going to be cheaper, let's say 2 times less. So one iPhone now costs $50. So Tony goes on eBay, which is like the equivalent of a trading app or a stock market. So he goes there and he buys 10 iPhone 11s because everybody wants the new thing. iPhone 12 is better, so they're selling their old phones, which is normal. So now Tony spent $500 to buy 10 iPhone 11s, which he needs to give back to Pikachu, plus $50 interest on the whole transaction. Pikachu is happy. He got his commission, so to speak. He has his phones back. He can borrow it to somebody else. Tony is left with $450, and that's pure profit for basically doing almost nothing. You're just signing some papers and changing ownership of a bunch of phones very quickly, very easily. And this is all on the assumption that GameStop or any other company that these Wall Street assholes are shorting will decline in value. So Reddit, some people over there, there's like a Wall Street thread and subreddit where they're discussing stuff, and somebody figured out that GameStop has been shorted way too much. It's like the short interest was more than there are actually real shares in the world. So they knew that they can squeeze and punish the Wall Street assholes, big hedge funds and big companies who are doing this. And this is an easy example with $100, but they're doing it for hundreds of millions of dollars. So it's like the scale is gigantic, and these are very quick, easy profits for them, which they've been doing for many years. So now Reddit decided that they can screw around with the system and to try, which by the way, Wall Street was aware this is not a hidden thing. They were doing publicly on Reddit, of course, but they didn't believe that it's possible that normal people, they're called retail investors, which just means regular people. Like you're not a company, you're not an investing agency, you're not a, hedge fund, nothing, just regular people like me and you, just investing their money from an application, again, on their phone. So they didn't believe this is possible. So Reddit users started buying options. An option purchase for a stock is basically the promise of a purchase. So what I do is I go to Pikachu and I say, hey, I want to buy an iPhone 11 or 12, whatever, something. One phone is a stock. So I said, I want to buy an iPhone, but I believe it will become more expensive. When the iPhone 12 comes out, iPhone 11 is going to be more expensive. That's my belief. So me and Pikachu make a promise that after 2 weeks, I can buy an iPhone 11 for $150. Now, Pikachu has to cover that. Well, actually, whoever is securing the option. Usually it would be Tony. So let's go back to Tony. So he has to secure the trade, which means he has to buy these stocks, because on the chance that the stock becomes more expensive, aka the phone, if the phone is more expensive than $150, he's going to lose money. So he has to buy it now to make sure he will make money on my promise. And if I don't make the purchase, I lose only the money I spent on the fees, and I don't have to actually buy the stock, and I don't have to buy the phone. It's like an understanding. We agree on that future date. I have the option, that's why I call options. I have the option to buy it at that particular price. So because for every option sold, Wall Street has to guarantee that they have it and that they will make a profit. So they have to buy stocks. But what Reddit was doing is they were buying a lot of options, way too many that was normal, and they were driving the price up because there's less shares available, which means the price goes up because he needs to buy enough to cover it. But Reddit, I'm buying stuff that nobody's selling. That's what they were already planning to do. They were buying phones, but nobody wanted to sell, and the people who did sell were doing it at a big profit, because now one iPhone is like $200, then it was $300. At some point, Gamestop's shares yesterday were like $421. People are holding it, and that's how they were screwing, because they had to keep buying and buying and buying shares, which they were already shorting and betting against. But they, again, you have to pay back stock, you have to return the phone. So to Pikachu, who's borrowing them stocks, for him it didn't matter how much the iPhone cost. It could be 1 million, it doesn't matter. All he cares about is getting his phones back. But for the Wall Street assholes like that Melvin hedge fund, which had to be bailed for over $2 billion, for him it matters, because the more stocks he was shorting and borrowing, once the price kept going, they panicked and they have to keep buying, knowing that they're gonna turn a loss. So it's like an infinite potential for losing money as long as people don't sell and keep artificially sort of increasing the price. So imagine this. Tony now has to pay back 10 iPhones to Pikachu, but they cost $1,000. So he sold them for $100. So now he has to reach in his pocket for $900 to pay back Pikachu plus the interest rate. And then multiply this by many millions, and you understand the gravity of the situation and why Wall Street is panicking. But Wall Street and the brokers and the big companies and stuff, they're all friends, they all manipulate shit. They close the trading on the apps. Today people are pissed. Now politicians are involved. I'm hoping somebody's gonna go to jail for this. Unlike what happened in 2008 and 9 for the world crisis, the world financial crisis. This time it seems like someone is gonna bite the stick. But this is basically what happened. It's nothing really illegal. That's the ironic thing. It's just a bunch of ordinary people who somehow screwed and defeated the system, and actually had a real financial pain for these guys, because, well, for everyone in the big financial institutions. And it's very fun. I actually recommend you guys to go on Reddit and there's so many screenshots and comments, and Elon Musk has tweeted about it, and it's just hilarious. But this is just like a short explanation how this works and why it happened, why it's even allowed. It's not technically illegal, but they're risking and gambling, and now they're paying the price. The funny thing is, with the shenanigans they've done with the shutting down of the stocks, they basically revealed their hand that they're a corrupt system, and Wall Street is just designed to make money to certain individuals and corporations. And when the normal people cracked the system, they immediately cried foul and changed the rules, but kind of overplayed their hand. Now everybody can see, how messed up the whole process is, and we'll see. It's going to be very interesting into the next few days, as the SEC in America is investigating it. And even though the trades are stopped in America, like Canadians and Europeans are reporting that they can still buy stocks. So this, I don't think this is going to stop anytime soon. This has become an internet meme, and just in one day a friend of mine told me that the Reddit gained 1 million subs, which is insane. And you have to think that a very small percentage of people who know about this will actually sub to the Reddit and participate. So that means many more millions have seen and read about this, and it's just gonna be crazy. And a lot of people are jumping in just for the joke and buying 1 or 2 shares because they are kind of expensive now, and they will not sell. And it's all like the people against the system, and the people are winning. Hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good one. Also, drop a like for Pikachu and Tony Chopper.